Hi, my name is Mr. Stewart, and I want to take this opportunity to go over improper fractions and mixed numbers and how to convert them back and forth. But first, I want to take this opportunity just to review fractions with you. Remember, with the fraction, you have a numerator, and that remains on top. And then you have your denominator. So numerator's on top, denominator's on bottom. Here's the important thing. It doesn't matter what value's up here in the numerator and what value's down here in the denominator. It could be either way. Okay? You could be a high value, low value, or low value and high value. It doesn't matter. But here's where the classifying comes into play. Okay? I told you we're going to work on improper fractions and mixed numbers today. Here's an improper fraction. If I were to have 7 over 5, that's an improper fraction. What makes it improper is that my numerator is bigger than my denominator. That makes this an improper fraction. Here's what a mixed number is. A mixed number is when I have a whole number and a fraction. Okay? This is a mixed number. This is an improper fraction. Today what we're going to work with is converting an improper fraction to a mixed number and then a mixed number to an improper fraction. So, let's have at it. Well, let's use the example I first gave you, 7/5. Here's what you need to understand about fractions. Fractions mean to divide. Okay? That's the most common operation, and that is the operation you do with fractions. It means to divide. So, here's how you set it up. And this is where some students maybe get tricked up on this. Okay? And let me tell you my example. Cowboy rides the horse. Okay? Cowboy rides the horse. Well, cowboy, at the end of the day, he makes his tent. Well, who do you think is going to sleep inside the tent, the cowboy or the horse? Cowboy's going to sleep inside the tent, and the horse is going to sleep outside. So, when you're dividing fractions, the cowboy goes inside, the horse goes outside, or if you use the proper words, numerator inside, denominator goes outside. So, let's convert this improper fraction to a mixed number. We're going to divide. What number is going to go inside? Remember the cowboy and the horse. 7 is going to go inside. 5 is going to go outside. So, here's the deal and the tricky part to remember. Most students will add a decimal here and a decimal here, and they'll keep going. Well, notice I want to keep it as a fraction. So if I want to keep it as a fraction, I am not going to go past my decimal. I'm going to stop there. And let me show you why. 5 can go into 7 one time. So, 1 times 5 is 5. What's 7 take away 5? 2. Those are the only 3 numbers I need. I need my 1, my 2, and my 5. Okay? Well, here's the deal. Your quotient, or your answer up here, that's your whole number, because 5 can go into 7 1. That's one entire revolution, one entire pie. So 1. Okay? Now you have your fraction. Here's what I tell my kids. Your denominator is not going to change. When you make an improper fraction to a mixed number, your denominator is not going to change. So my denominator is going to remain 5. Because my denominator, my improper fraction was 5, my denominator in my mixed number is going to be 5. And I just pull it from here. The next step, or my next one, is going to be my numerator. Whatever your remainder is, that becomes your numerator. So 7/5 equals 1 and 2/5. My quotient or answer becomes my whole number. My divisor is my denominator, and my remainder is now my numerator. Let's work another example. Let's take 13/8. An improper fraction because my numerator is bigger than my denominator. So I want to make it into a mixed number. Here we go. Divide it out. What number goes inside? Is it going to be my numerator or denominator? Is it my cowboy or my horse? It's going to be my cowboy. 13. My horse, my denominator, 8, stays outside. So that's 13 divided by 8, or 8 dividing into 13. So remember, I'm going to draw my wall, and I'm not going to go past it. I'm not going to add a decimal and a 0 and keep going until I finish it out. So 8, can it go into 1? No. Can 8 go into 13? Yes. One time. So 13, take away 8 is 5. Okay? So here's the deal. I'm done. I've stopped. I'm good to go. So let's set it up. I need my whole number. What's my whole number? My whole number is going to be 1. What's going to be my denominator? Remember, my denominator is not going to change. It's going to be my 8, which comes from here, my divisor. What's going to be my new numerator? My new numerator is my remainder, 5. So, 13/8 equals 1 and 5/8. If you want to think about it a different way, and these are what I tell my upper level kids, is think about it this way. I know 18, and basically this is doing the math in your head. 8 can go into 13 once. I know my denominator is not going to change. So if 8 can go into 13 once, subtract 13 and 8, what do you get? 5. That's just doing the division in your head. That's just a simple, short, sweet method. Some students take it that way. The majority of students take it the other way, this way. This is how the majority of students think. This is perfectly fine. For some students who like to think a different way, you can do it this way. Okay? Let's do another example. 26 over 24. So, 24 can go into 26 once. My denominator stays the same. 26 take away 24 is 2. So my answer would be 1 2/4. If I reduce this, 2/4 could be reduced down to 2 can go into 2 once, 2 can go into 24 twice. That would equal 1 and 1/12. So, let's show this problem how to work it out mathematically. 26 goes inside, 24 goes outside. 24 can't go into 2. It can go into 26 once. 26 take away 24 is 2. So 1, my whole number, denominator stays the same, or it's my divisor, 24. And my remainder is my numerator. So you get the same thing. And then from here, once again, I would just divide it out. Or excuse me, simplify it. Dividing it by whatever value can go in the numerator and the denominator. So, you should feel pretty confident with the improper fraction into a mixed number. Now let's go reverse. Let's go a mixed number to an improper fraction. So, let's take our beginning example. I gave you 1 and 2/5. Okay. Teachers will call this several different things. They may call it the popcorn method. They may call it the magic C. They may call it the backwards C. Any of those verbiages, any of that wording still computes and works out to the same method. So, this is what they mean. The backwards C is I'm going to start at 5 and I'm going to work my way up here. And you see this symbol here, that's kind of like a C. Well, most C's, when you write a C, you start up top and go down. The backwards C is just that. I start down here and work my way up. So here's what the backward C is. I multiply my denominator times my whole number. Okay. So whatever these two values are, my denominator and whole number, I'm going to multiply them. Okay? So, that's the first part. Whatever your product is after you multiply, whatever your answer is after you multiply, you then add it to your numerator. So, after you multiply, add the product to the numerator. So whatever I get from here, I'm then going to add 2. So here we go. Let's go to the new slide. I have 1 and 2/5. So I'm going to make this mixed number to an improper fraction. I'm going to multiply my denominator times my whole number. So 1 times 5 equals 5. I'm then going to add it to my numerator. So 1 times 5 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Well, remember what I said about making an improper fraction to a mixed number? Remember what I said about what your denominator would do? Your denominator is going to stay the same. So what was my denominator in my mixed number? 1 and 2/5. My denominator was 5, so it's going to stay the same, 5. So 1 and 2/5 equals 7/5. Let's do another example. Let's take 13 and 2/3. We have 13 and 2/3. A mixed number. I want to make it into an improper fraction. You're going to do your magic C or your backward C or your popcorn. 13 times 3 is 39. I multiply. Now I take 39 and add it to my numerator. 39 plus 2 is 41. Your denominator is going to stay the same. So, 13 and 2/3 equals 41 over 3. So let's take this opportunity for you to work some problems out on your own. Let's take 2 and 4/9 and make it into an improper fraction. Then let's take 11/8 and make that into a mixed number. And let's pick another one. Let's take the improper fraction and make it into a mixed number again. Let's take 15 over 14. Take this opportunity now to do these 3 examples. This opportunity now to pause the podcast to finish working these out. Let's have at it. Let's make this mixed number to an improper fraction. Do the magic C, the backward C, or the popcorn. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. So that would be 22. My denominator stays the same. 22 over 9. Now let's take this improper fraction, make it into a mixed number. You should have gotten 1 and 3/8. With this improper fraction, you should have gotten 1 and 1/14. Here's how you work this one out. Okay? 11 goes in my dividend. 8 goes in my divisor. 8 can go into 11 once. 11 take away 8 is 3. My whole number, my numerator, and my denominator stay the same. Let's take 15 over 14 and make it into a mixed number. Cowboy rides the horse. Cowboy goes inside. Horse goes outside. 14 can go into 15 once. Subtract it out. 15 take away 14 is 1. Ah, but Mr. Stewart, I see 2 1s now. Remember, whatever your number here, your quotient, that becomes your whole number. My remainder is my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. Okay, whatever my divisor is, that's my denominator. Denominator stays the same. Hopefully you found this podcast very helpful for you in converting improper fractions to mixed numbers and vice versa. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.